work or we'll have to do it over. It's not a perfect world, and I don't expect this tape to be perfect, just teachable, and that's all I'm looking for. All right, let's get down to our weapons. Okay, when you're in a fight or in your martial arts or in your boxing experiences, they have angles, certain angles to use to strike using your hands. Boxing uses a jab, a hook, an uppercut, an overhand. You know, a karate person will throw front punches and reverse punches and whatever it may be, or you know, knife hand strikes, whatever. There are certain angles and certain ways of striking, and that comes into years of training. Line familiarization, timing, distance, all these things come into play. But when you're using your hands, it's the same, and you're using a weapon, I should say, it's the same exact thing. If it's a knife, it's still just an extension of my hand. If it's a piece of metal bar, it's just an extension of my hand. If it's a machete, a blade, it's just an extension of my hand. Same thing if it's a stick or an eskrima, it's an extension of our hands. Now, the reason I like the cane is that it's deceptive, first of all. I can take this into a post office, into a courthouse, onto an airplane. People open doors for you, and it's deceptive. They look at you. This person's weak? No, this person's got a weapon that they don't understand. The good part about this is it's made of hardwood. It's extremely hard, extremely durable. Our canes are roughly 38 inches tall, an inch and a quarter diameter, and extremely hard. The crook is used for hooking, of course, or each end can be used for striking and hitting. Now, our combat cane, which we develop each one at a time, not on some machine and run across them. They're custom made by a cane maker. Our crooks are taken down different styles, of course, different ways we sharpen this to a point. It's an extremely sharp end on it. It's used for cutting flesh or hooking, ripping, tearing, whichever word you want to use. We also put what I call bicycle notches. They're like your bicycle handle grips. We'll cut places for your fingers to insert so you can use it and get an extra good grip on your cane. This cane here, which I like, has notches in this way, if you can see it. Can you zoom in with the camera on this? I want everybody to be able to see this. These canes are custom made. You can order them through me, through Total Defense. Then the film will give you a phone number and a website, and you can order your canes through me. Okay, these notches are shaped at angles, and what they're for is to rub across the bones of the body, whether it be here or on the shin bones. It causes a lot of pains when you hit the nerves, okay, and it's extremely painful in certain areas, and it gets their attention very quickly. Other than that, the two canes are basically the same basic height, same diameter, just one is custom made. And I'm not going to go into details on what we do here at the point, but believe me, it's extremely deadly. With that, we're going to start going over the angles, which to strike, where to strike, and there's so much information I can give you on this DVD. It's impossible to do it all in one tape, or two or three, or whatever. It would take half a dozen at least just to get you warmed up. Hopefully you have some martial arts experience. If you don't, you're still going to gain a lot of knowledge and be able to use this cane to your advantage. And with that, we'll be back. Okay, let's go over line familiarization. No matter which weapon it is, whether it's a stick, a cane, a knife, like I said before, it makes absolutely no difference on the way you will use it for striking. There's a bunch of different numbering systems along with striking systems, and for simplicity, we're just going to keep it down to 7 movements, 7 basic ones you use for the cane. Okay, like I said, let's take that from a striking of number 1, a downward angle. That's number 1, and number 2, and number 3 horizontal, number 4 is horizontal, number 5 is straight in, number 6 is straight up, and number 7 can be straight down. Okay, let's go in. You have 1 diagonal down, horizontal, horizontal, strike, up, and down. It will be the same thing when we use our cane. It could be 2 hands or 1, striking down, and across, and thrusting forward, coming up, and or coming down, whichever angle you need it to be. Okay, let's do it again in 1 hand. Strike, strike, horizontal, horizontal, forward thrust, coming up, coming down. Either end of the cane will work. It all hurts. Okay? doing, let's say, put this into in this video. The way that you stop somebody in a fight is not by beating their body up. You have to stop the brain from working. You have to initiate pain, which make their brain turn around and say, I don't want it anymore, and stop the fight that way. It's like if you take somebody that's on drugs and morphine or something, you can beat them to death. If the brain's not registering pain, you're not going to do any good. So we're out to cause as much pain as fast as possible as we can. One person that was an FBI agent actually said, he called it the ACT system, A-C-T, attitude, commitment, and technique. Okay, if a person is going to give you some garbage, I suggest you try to get away from that person, do all you can to avoid the fight. But if he's going to keep on, you have to have a conflict. You have to get this attitude of, I'm not going to lose. Okay, you have to be committed, that's A-C-T. And then you'll get into your techniques, which are going over the striking. So the first thing is, you need to mentally say, okay, I've got the attitude, he's giving me some garbage, I don't want to fight, I'm going to have to win. It's about a mental attitude. You have to be committed once you start the fight, and then you have to get down to your techniques, which we're going over now. Okay, so with that same thing in mind, if we're coming back with our ankles, okay, one hand or two with the cane, you have to be committed to throwing your throws in with the cane, okay, and being committed to finish the fight. That's our basic movements right there. Let me get a side angle here so you can see them from this way. Diagonal down, across, okay, thrust forward, strike down, or strike up. It's the same thing. It could be strike down and then up. When you're thrusting to the side, get this angle again, and you're throwing, don't just sit here and do this. Same thing with the extremas or your sticks. Just don't be flailing. Just don't sit there. And you need to be moving your body as you're going. Shuffle your feet, okay? Don't just sit there and work your hands. If you want to cause a lot of devastation, load up like a baseball player and throw your body weight into it, okay? Step through, swing around. Don't just do this, do this. If you have that option. You may not have that option. You may be walking with your cane, all of a sudden you're looking here, and all of a sudden somebody's in your face. You don't have the time to come way back over here, okay, and load up. You may just have your cane here, you look, there it is, and that's all you can get. You may not be able to throw your whole body weight into it. Just do what you can do, and we'll go over some different techniques of how to hook, how to punch using the cane, how to block with the cane, with different techniques like that. And with that being done, stick with us. Okay, we've got our angles now. I'm going to have one of my assistant instructors come in. Edgar, you grab that board. We're going to go over thrusting. Okay, just hold it right there. The last time we used one of these, I had a treated 2x12. Okay, with a rope and hang around one of the instructor's necks. And actually the thrust was so hard it split the board. So today I'm not going to go very hard on this because it's a piece of plywood we have here. But I'm going to show you as far as thrusting, like using your body, full body movement into the throw, and also do the same. You want to do the same with the thrust. In other words, if somebody's coming in and we want to do our angle 5, which is our thrust, we don't want to do this. You want to pull it back and thrust in if you have that time. Also, you want to throw your weight in. Pick your foot up, and drop your body weight into it this way. So don't sit here and go. That will hurt if you hit the sternum or the face or the jaw or the eye or the head, wherever it's going to hurt. This is going to hurt more if I get a good thrust. But if you put all your body weight into it this way, it's really going to hurt you. So it's the same thing. Step back for a second. It's the same thing as we can do this, or we can wind up and do this and throw all your upper body weight into it. It'd be the same here. Okay, we can do this, which is may cause a little bit of pain, but we want to do as much pain as fast as possible. So we bring the cane back and thrust it in. And I'm hardly hitting. If you can hear that, is it hurting at all? Right? I'm not hitting it very hard. Bring the cane up and drive it in. Use your body weight along with it. Can we put it down for a second? Okay. just stand here, make sure you get us both in the camera. Okay, we're going to go over our angles again. We had angle 1, diagonal cross. Another diagonal cross. Horizontal. Horizontal. A thrust. A strike up and a strike down. Okay? And we thrust in, we'll aim for that solar plexus, or the groin, or the throat, or the face. Let's go over some places in the body to hit. I like to use the triangle system, which some styles use. Okay? Based on the triangle, there's triangles and circles in a lot of your martial arts. Okay? You got 2 eyes in the mouth. That is a triangle right there. Another triangle, you got a temple, you got a place right here behind the head which comes down to the carotid artery. Okay, that's a good place to hit. So right here, you've heard the old saying, if you hit something behind the head, you can blind them. So you've got here, you come down to the neck. You've got both shoulders, go down to the solar plexus, both feet up to the groin, and the same virtually on the back. We've got 2 spots behind the head down to the center of the spine, which can cause a lot of damage. Both shoulders to the center of the back, both feet to the center of the back. Okay, whenever we're striking, we want to try and hit one of those places. If we hit the temple, most likely anything above from the shoulders up is lethal. That's why a lot of the police departments don't allow you to hit, from the neck up. But if we're on the street, last resort, self-defense only, we want to strike the temples. Okay, if he happens to turn his head, okay, you strike the back of the head. You strike the back of the upper part of the spine. Okay, or we can thrust into the throat, into the eyes. The eyes are the number 1 target in my book. This is a direct link to the brain. You can get a little piece of sand in your eye and you're going to start rubbing, you can't hardly see, you can't fight it. Okay, so I always have to aim for the eyes when I get a finger in. Okay, don't pin just on the cane, use your body along with the cane. In other words, if I want to thrust him back to get some room to throw the cane in, use your body along with this. Remember, this is a part of your body, just like any other weapon. So, just like you would use in a fight, and you would kick, then set up for the cane strike. Okay? We've got to thrust into the solar plexus. If the arms are down and you strike with the thrust, there's a series of nerves right here over each shoulder, right there. You see him flinch a little bit? If I hit right there while his arm is down, boom, he won't be able to raise his arm for a moment or two. So if I was to strike here, come across and strike again, he's not able to lift his arms. You want to try it on some of your buddies? Go ahead. If it hurts, give it a strike right in here. In fact, you can grab yourself and do it. There's a nerve right there. If you strike it, it's going to enable him to pick his arm up. That's going to give you a lot of time, especially if this was a combat cane. To a point, you'd be ripping flesh. Okay? You could just tear him to pieces with that end of the cane and cause him major damage. Okay, we can also hit the elbows. Okay, both of these. You can also strike the groin, or we go with the other move, number 6, and come up and hit the groin this way. The knees are a very good place to strike. Okay, if you turn sideways for me. Our other cane that has notches, are good places across the shins. It causes a lot of damage, or not a lot of damage, but a lot of pain. Same thing across the arm. If you was to grab my arm, and I hit my cane has the notches, right across his wrist right there, it'll make him let go. He'd let go pretty quick.